A very important person here in the bus is our bus driver. His name is Marius, and my name's Melanie. I'm the tour guide for all the day long. Some general informations: please fasten your seat belts as it's a law in Germany. I will do that as well. We have got a toilet, a washroom, restroom in the bus. It's at the second door downstairs. Please use it only when the bus is in motion. So only when we are driving, don't use it when we are stopping, so only when the bus is in motion. And then we have got drinks on board. We have got water, natural water. We have got Coke, and we have got very good Bavarian beer. If you want to drink some drinks, normally our bus drivers are selling the drinks, but our bus driver has to concentrate and drive. So while he's driving, I will be there for you. If you want to drink something, then just let me know. You can always come to me. I'm sitting here downstairs next to the bus driver. For the drinks, it's €2 each. It's only cash for the drinks. The tour is a live-guided English tour, so I will talk most of the time in English. We are having guests who need other languages like Japanese, Chinese, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and so on. And I will inform you when the earphones will work. But now, at the beginning, I'd like to tell everybody about the program in English, and then I will say it as well for the Italian and Spanish guests, a little bit in Italian and Spanish. Then I will continue to talk in English, and then in the next 5 or 10 minutes, then the earphones will work. I will inform you when you can put your earphones on. So now, first, some words about the program. Now we are driving for about 1.5 hours until we reach our first stop. That's Harburg Castle. It's a romantic castle. It's one of the best preserved medieval castles in Germany, so a castle from the Middle Ages. And you can have a guided tour inside of Harburg Castle. As you know from our homepage, the guided tour is not included in your ticket, so later I have to come to you to collect the fees. It's a 45 minutes guided tour. You will have a live tour guide who speaks in English, talks in English, but I can organize something to read as well in other languages like Italian, Spanish, Japanese, and so on. Just let me know if you want to have it in other languages as well. So 45 minutes guided tour costs €12 for adults and €9 for children. Children counting from 3 to 16 years old. Would be great if you could pay with credit card, because the head of the company wants me to take credit card only, but if you say you can pay only cash, then I will accept cash as well. And it's optional. You can decide whether you want to do the guided tour, yes or no, but I have to know it when I come to you in the next 5 to 10 minutes, because I have to call then the lady at Harburg Castle to tell her exactly how many people are joining the guided tour. You have to know only if you book the guided tour, you will see the castle from inside. If you don't want to book the guided tour, then you have to stay 1.5 hours outside in the courtyard. There's not really much else to see than the castle, because the castle is located up on a small hill. We have to walk 7 minutes up on a small hill, and inside of the castle there you have to walk some stairs, but not too many, just some stairs. And I can say it's worth it. The tour guides there are very good, but it's your decision whether you want to do it yes or no. You still have some minutes to decide. And if you have an ache with your knee or something, just let me know. If you say you can't walk the stairs inside of the castle or something. And then after you had the guided tour, how does it go on? We will drive another 1.5 hours along the romantic road. You will see many romantic small villages, beautiful little villages along the romantic road, and then we will reach the beautiful romantic town Rothenburg. We will be there at about midday, at about 1 o'clock. Then we are ready for lunch as well. I will make an orientation walk for you, which will last for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I will lead you to the city center, old town of Rothenburg and Market Square. And then you have free time as well. Normally I make a reservation in a very good restaurant, Baumeisterhaus, but they are on holidays. There's another restaurant, Ratsstube, which is very good as well, and I will try to get some tables for you there. And then you have about 2.5 to 3 hours of free time, but at least 2.5 hours, it depends on the traffic. And in the late afternoon, at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we will drive back to Munich, and we're coming back to Munich in the evening. It's many hours of driving from the town Rothenburg to get back to Munich. We need to drive at least 3 hours if there's no traffic. So 3 hours if there's no traffic, so that means we're coming back to Munich at about 7 o'clock in the evening. My dear guests, I will continue to talk in English now, and all the guests who have earphones for Japanese, Chinese, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, French, Russian, please put your earphones on. The earphones will work soon. So, earphones are working, auriculares funzionano, le cuffie funzionano. Some general information about Munich. Munich is the third biggest city in Germany after Berlin and Hamburg, with about 1.6 million inhabitants. Munich was founded in 1158 by the Duke Henry the Lion. The name Munich, München, is coming from the monks. There was a settlement of monks at St. Peter's Church, so nearby St. Mary's Square, nearby Marienplatz, and the settlement of monks was called Ad den Mönchen, which means at the monks, and that's why the city is called München, Munich, so it's coming from München, from the monks. These monks around St. Peter's Church were already brewing their own beer, so brewing beer has got a long tradition in Bavaria. I will tell you about Bavaria and the beer more soon, but please have a look to the left at the traffic light. You will see in the background a very beautiful castle, palace, Nymphenburg Palace. It was the summer residence of the Wittelsbach family, the former Bavarian royal family. Here on the left, in the background, Nymphenburg Palace. Guardate alla sinistra, Castello Nymphenburg, Castillo Nymphenburg. Era la residenza dell'estate della famiglia Wittelsbach. So, and Nymphenburg Palace, it's really such a beautiful palace. If you like palaces, please go there, visit the Palace Museum. The rooms inside are so beautiful, very beautiful and very impressive. And our fairy tale king, King Ludwig II, he was born there in the Nymphenburg Palace, so you can see that the room where King Ludwig II was born, and you can see there as well the famous gallery of beauties of King Ludwig I. You can see that the portraits of more than 30 beautiful ladies. For example, the portrait of the Spanish dancer Lola Montes. She was the mistress of King Ludwig I and also the cause for his abdication. but you can see there much more. If you visit Nymphenburg Palace, the Palace Museum, then next to the Palace Museum there is the Marstall Museum. There you can see, so that's the Museum of Carriages. You can see there many horse carriages. And then there is as well the Museum of Porcelain. And nearby Nymphenburg Palace there is as well the manufactory of Nymphenburg porcelain. That's very famous. So the Nymphenburg porcelain is produced there nearby the Nymphenburg Palace. And if you go to visit Palace Museum at Nymphenburg Palace, then behind the Palace Museum there's a wonderful park, Nymphenburg Park, with small garden and summer palaces. You can go there for walk, and from the Nymphenburg Park you could walk to the new botanical garden, but then you have to walk a lot. If you don't want to walk that much, to the new botanical garden here to the left there's going a tram as well and a bus. So there's a stop for a tram and for a bus, as you can see here in front of us to the left. And here now coming up to the left you will see the main entrance to the new botanical garden. You can see there's some exotic flowers, palm trees and so on. It's really very, very beautiful. Alla sinistra il nuovo giardino botanico. I continue to tell you about Bavaria and the beer. So the beer in Bavaria, it's brewed according to the law of purity. That's a very old law that we have got, because you know, sometimes in the past people got sick after drinking beer. The beer was not always brewed in a clear way, and that's why they created this law of purity. So a very old law that we still have got today in Bavaria. And the beer in Bavaria is just allowed to be made out of hop malt and water, only natural ingredients. If you drink a beer in Bavaria, in Munich, you can always be sure it's a very good beer that you get. We have it here in the bus as well, so if you want to try it, we have the very good, as far as I know, Augustiner beer. We have altogether 6 large beer breweries here in Munich. So Augustiner, that's the oldest beer brewery, existing since 1328. And many of Munich citizens are saying it's the one and only. Augustiner is the best beer, but try as well the other ones. You know, there's Lowenbräu, Löwenbräu, there's Spaten, Hackabschor, Paulaner, and so on. We have 6 large beer breweries and then as well many, many smaller beer breweries. And we're celebrating a very famous festival in Munich every year. I think you heard about it. It's famous, known all over the world. The big beer festival, the Oktoberfest. Don't be too late if you want to come this year for the Oktoberfest. Even if it's called the Oktoberfest, it's starting already in the middle end of September. It lasts 2 weeks, altogether 3 weekends. It goes until the first weekend of October. If you are interested, you could have a look to the large field called Theresienwiese already now in the next days, or today, this evening, because they start already in July to make everything ready, because it's such a big festival. So if you go there now to the large field Theresienwiese, you should be able to see there already some of the big beer tents and several attractions, roller coasters and ghost trains, but it's not open yet. So the festival is opening in the middle end of September. And the Bavarians, Munich citizens, when they go to the Oktoberfest, then they wear a special dress. For the women it's called Dirndl, and for the men it's called Lederhosen. These are the leather trousers. And if you want to buy some of these typical Bavarian dresses, you can buy them nearby St. Mary's Marienplatz. There you will find some shops so where you can buy the Bavarian dresses. so small town, isn't it? A romantic town, sweet and romantic, and yeah, it's a small town. The town Rothenburg, it has got just for about 12,000 inhabitants. If you compare it to Munich, Munich is a big city. It has got about 1.6 million inhabitants. So then Rothenburg is just a small town. But even if it's a small town, there's so much to see, so much to discover. And I always say, even if we had a full day long, from morning till evening, that's not enough time to see the complete town Rothenburg. Then better is 2 days, to stay there 2 days, but even 2 days not enough time. 3 days, even better. So if you stay 3 days in the town Rothenburg, then you really can see the complete town. Then you can see all of the beautiful houses, all of the towers. There are so many towers in the town Rothenburg. And if you stay like 3 days in the town Rothenburg, then you can do the complete city boardwalk. Then if you go to the castle garden, there's a beautiful park. Then you can go a little bit longer for a walk. And then the other advantage is if you stay like 3 days in the town Rothenburg, maybe you are lucky and not every day is such a hot summer day. For me personally, I think it's too hot to go long time for walk in a town, in a city. So some hours, okay, if you sit down somewhere for ice cream or some cool drinks, then it's alright. But yeah, so you can't walk in the sun too many hours. So maybe some of you are planning next holidays here in the town Rothenburg or in another beautiful village along the romantic road. There are so many romantic hotels where you can stay in the town Rothenburg. And it makes sense as well to stay 1 week or 5 days in the town Rothenburg, because then you can discover as well the beautiful region area around Rothenburg. If you stay 5 days in Rothenburg, you could rent a car or go by bicycle, and then you can discover some of the other beautiful villages along the romantic road. I always recommend to see the town Rothenburg at least 3 times. 1 time in springtime or summertime. So you did it, you went here in summertime. But I have to say springtime very nice as well, because then it's not too hot and slowly the trees are having green colors. So the leaves of the trees are green, and then there are many colorful flowers. Okay, but so 1 time in springtime or summertime, then you have to see Rothenburg again in autumn. Very nice in autumn, so like end of September, beginning of October. Then it's not so hot anymore and you're having beautiful colors. Then you have more like yellow, orange, red colors, the leaves of the trees. And then there are many wine festivals in the town Rothenburg and around the town Rothenburg. And then I recommend to come to see the town Rothenburg again in winter time. Then it's really, when snow falls from heaven, when it's snowing, it's very romantic in the winter time. And then there's something else going on, special going on. Then there's opening the Christmas market in the town Rothenburg at the end of November and December. So that's really a nice idea to see the town Rothenburg again end of November and December when the Christmas market is open. Then it's very romantic, and you know, snow falls from heaven, all the roofs of the houses are covered with snow. So you were visiting Harburg Castle, then you were walking through the town Rothenburg. I think now maybe you're a bit tired and you want to relax, and I promise I'm not going to talk all the time on the way back to Munich. So I will let you relax now. If you want to sleep, you can sleep. Then I wish you sweet dreams. Or you have a look at the beautiful landscape, or you have a look to the thousands of beautiful pictures you have taken. And yeah, if you need something, we still have got drinks on board. We have got water, Coke, Apfelschorle, the apple juice mixed with sparkling water, and the Bavarian beer. You know, it's €2 each, only cash for the drinks. If you want to drink something, then please come downstairs. I'm sitting here downstairs next to the bus driver. And if you need something, if you just want to ask something, you can always come to me. I will wake you up when we are like 20 minutes or half an hour away from Munich, and then I'd like to give you some ideas for your free time, what you can do in the next days in your free time in Munich, and I want to give you some ideas as well for some very good Bavarian restaurants where you could go to for lunch or for dinner in the next days. But so now I really let you relax.